So my name is Dr. Marcella Wilson. Today we're going to learn how to create a month's worth of social media posts in less than 5 minutes without having to hire a social media manager or be stuck in front of the computer all day. All right, so let's get to the topic at hand. I'm going to give you what you came for. Is this a picture of you when you are creating your social media content? Are you looking like that because you don't know how to do it? All of your time and energy. Is this you? It probably is. Because in all honesty, if you're trying to learn about social media and how to post for your business or for other people and you may not know, you may be looking like this because I don't know what to do or how to do it. Or if you're already doing it, you may be looking like this because it just takes so much of your time. Social media can be a grind. It is a grind. That is just facts. It's a grind, and I understand that because I was in your shoes as well. I had a blog. I was blogging and doing social media for myself and other people for my business, and I was the same way before AI became available to the public. That was me too, because it's a grind, because you have to do it every day. You have to be consistent. You have to come up with content on the regular, and it's hard, right? So you may have heard of AI or ChatGPT, but you're like, wait, I don't know how to do that. That sounds hard. That sounds techy. That sounds complicated. That sounds like all futuristic and stuff, right? So you may be like, I hear it's amazing, I think, but I have no idea how to start or how to go about that. And I get it. I get it. So lately, there's been a lot in the news, in the media, about AI, even in my world, right? And I'll get into more about me. I teach at university, but you may have heard a lot about AI and you may have heard some scary stuff, right? So the government may want you to think that, now that AI is here, it's going to take everybody's jobs. And I just want you to not believe the hype about AI. A robot probably is not going to take your job. You may have heard from companies or services that they may want you to think that AI is hard. Like, oh, I got to learn how to program. Look, this guy's got like 3 computer screens, all this code on it. He's worn out. You may think, whoa, if I want to learn AI or ChatGPT for my business, this is going to be me. And that couldn't be further from the truth. That cannot be further from it. It is not. ChatGPT is not hard, right? I want you to look at the slide. This could be what a typical day creating a month's worth of social media content looks like for you, right? On the left, you should see 15 minutes using ChatGPT, and on the right, many hours chilling, however many hours you want. As you can see, this person is watching Black Mirror on Netflix, but this is what a day could look like creating a month's worth of social media content using ChatGPT or some other type of AI platform. I like ChatGPT. If you know what you're doing, you can just take 15 minutes and then do whatever you need to do after that. You can take the time to do it. Because we know creating a month's worth of social media content right now without AI, oh, that could take a long time. That could take like a week, weeks, So ChatGPT can dramatically cut down the time it takes for you to create content. And if you create content with other people, like you have an agency, this is going to be great because you can actually take on more people, more clients, and it not be a burden and you not have to take on more time to take on those clients. So this is possible. And my goal today is to give you value. Sure, I teach. I have students that I teach how to use AI and ChatGPT. And I'll tell you a little bit how you can work with me towards the end of this presentation. But if you don't choose to work with me, you're still going to get value out of this presentation. And that's my goal, is to, one, expose people to ChatGPT and the amazing things it can do for your business. And then I also want to give you some actionable tips, things that you can do as soon as you get out of this webinar on how to create social media content quickly. So what I show you today, you can go out and do that yourself. you can take that and run with it. So my goal is to expose you, give you knowledge, give you value, give you some actionable tips of things that you can do today, things that you can use today for your business. All right. So I want you to learn how to save tons of time and money using ChatGPT. That is my hope for you at the end of this webinar. But I do want to have a caveat. What I show you, you can go out there and do. But in order to really, really effectively use ChatGPT over time, you have to learn how to use it correctly, right? And then you have to, it is ideal if you can learn how to automate it so you can take yourself completely out of the process. So there's a quote, and I think I have it later in one of these slides, that ChatGPT now has over 100 million users, which is insane. It's now like $1 billion company, but the majority of people are not using it correctly. But that's not going to be you, right? Because I'm going to help you use it correctly. So before we get into what I'm going to show you with ChatGPT, let me just tell you a little bit about myself. I don't want to spend a lot of time on myself, but I do want to legitimize myself. That's a word. I do want to, because I know sometimes you come to these webinars and people are like, well, why should I listen to you? I kind of have a lot of background in history with computer science and AI. It's just to show you that I am knowledgeable about teaching about this topic. So my first important job, the first two things about me that are most important to me is I'm a wife and I'm a mom. And those are my girls right there. I teach at university and I run a consulting firm. What I do is I help small businesses learn how to use social media to make money. So here are my educational backgrounds. That's me the day I graduated from getting my doctorate. I have a bachelor's in journalism and a master's and PhD in science. And my research was in social media. And I've done a lot of research on social media and also taught many classes on AI and machine learning, which is kind of related to AI as well. So that's my background to show that I'm qualified to talk about this AI stuff. Again, I used to have a blog. I was the same way. Took forever just to create anything, images and blog posts. It took up so much of my time, and I had, so ultimately I quit blogging. And this is why. If you could see those two little people when they showed up at once, yeah, that's when I quit blogging because it just took up so much time, and time which I didn't have, right? I was the same way. Took forever just to create anything, images and blog posts. It took up so much of my time, and I had, so ultimately I quit blogging. And this is why. If you could see those two little people when they showed up at once, yeah, that's when I quit blogging because it just took up so much time, and time which I didn't have, right? But AI was always like in research phases, like we've always heard about it. But then one day it was just like, oh, it's here, like, it's available to use. So AI is something that has been on the scene for a good 20 years. It's just now it's becoming available for public use. So let's talk a little bit about what artificial intelligence is. This is from The Terminator, which is a great movie. And if you've seen The Terminator, it's like AI takes over. AI is it's called like Skynet, and it takes over the world, and It's like a doomsday scenario, right? So when people think about artificial intelligence, that's kind of what they think about, like Terminator. But it is, I don't want you to think of it that way. So all artificial intelligence is, and I'm going to put on my professor hat right now, is it's basically programmers who allow machines, which are robots and computers, to think and learn like we do, right? They program that computer or that robot to simulate thinking or learning. So computer science are making machines smart enough to solve new problems and learn new things. So when I say learn things, I don't want you to get scared like, oh my gosh, Skynet is real, the Terminator is going to happen. Robots cannot learn, that they can't become sentient or self-aware. They can't like one day create a conscience and go on their own. They're basically making predictions, right? Based on the information they have. And they've gotten really, really good. So when I say learn things, I don't want you to get scared like, oh my gosh, Skynet is real, the Terminator is going to happen. Robots cannot learn, that they can't become sentient or self-aware. They can't like one day create a conscience and go on their own. They're basically making predictions, right? Based on the information they have. And they've gotten really, really good. That's why it's called artificial intelligence. It's not real intelligence. It's artificial based on what they know of what happened in the past. All right. So ChatGPT, what is ChatGPT? It's an advanced AI language model developed by a company called OpenAI. It's designed to understand and generate human-like text based on the input it receives, right? So basically think of it's just an assistant that you have that you can ask things, write things. Basically, you know, like I said, ChatGPT is by OpenAI, but lots of other people have AI platforms like Google has Bard that you can use. You can look them up and do the same things you can do on ChatGPT on these other platforms, right? So basically think of it's just an assistant that you have that you can ask things, write things. Basically, you know, like I said, ChatGPT is by OpenAI, but lots of other people have AI platforms like Google has Bard that you can use. You can look them up and do the same things you can do on ChatGPT on these other platforms. I just like ChatGPT. But they created this free platform where you can type in requests and ask it questions and it'll answer you back. That's all it is in very, very simple terms. What is the future of AI? So I kind of have this image on the screen that shows different fields: healthcare, education, banking, finance, manufacturing, entertainment. So I just want you to understand that AI is going to permeate everything. It's going to permeate life as we know it. Right? If you Google something, now I saw on Google, it said, AI powered searches, right? If you shop on Amazon, if you put something in the cart, it's going to show you things based on what you've bought in the past and what other people who have bought that same product have bought. AI powered product suggestions, right? We're going to begin to learn differently. Banking is going to be different. Entertainment is different, right? They just ended that writer's strike, right? And one of the big things they were fighting out over was, they didn't want AI, they didn't want the writers to be out of jobs because, AI or ChatGPT can write the scripts. And they were also fighting over AI generated actor images, right? So AI is here to stay, and it is going to change how we do things. That is fact. It's here and it's not going anywhere. So AI and ChatGPT are already changing things dramatically, right? So I'll just tell you, take a couple minutes and tell you how in my life, how it's changed things dramatically. So again, I teach at university. So as a, since I teach, you can get a lot of side jobs, right? You can teach during the summer. One thing that a lot of professors get offered is to write curriculums or test or review courses for other universities like nonprofits or online universities. So I used to do that all the time. And I just remember telling my husband, like, ooh, I wonder when they're going to realize that AI can do this. Because when I would get those jobs, I would use AI to do all this. So I remember right before Thanksgiving, I was working for this one school, and then I heard nothing from them. And I emailed like, hey, happy Thanksgiving. You guys need anything else from me? And they're like, nope, we're gonna use AI from now on. I was like, yep, God, totally understand. So where this university used to spend probably hundreds of thousands of dollars hiring independent contractors like me to review courses, write tests, write curriculums, spending hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. Now they probably just need one person to do all of that on AI. So in my life, yeah, I just lost a little side hustle, right? Also, when I was blogging, I would spend like all this time getting images for my blog posts for social media and things like that. You have to pay for your images, right? A lot of these businesses have gone or are going out of business. Can Stock Photo was one I used a lot. They went out of business in October, and they said, hey, we cannot compete with AI. You can make free images through Midjourney or DALL-E, and no one is paying for images anymore. So images services are going out of business. So within the next 2 years, so I went to a symposium about AI a couple of months ago, and they said that within the next few years, every business or company will have an AI officer whose job it is to find out how AI can streamline operations, save money, etc. Right? So AI is here. Businesses, companies, or whatever are going to take advantage of it. If you don't take advantage of it, I don't know why you wouldn't, but these other big businesses are. And the reason that they're going to take advantage of it because it saves them money and it saves them time, right? It's here to stay. And those who use it will prosper, and those who don't will get left in the dust. It's just facts, right? But again, I don't want you to be fearful, right? Because one thing we talk about when we teach about artificial intelligence and machine learning and things like that, one of the three things we teach about it is that let the humans do what only the humans do. There are certain things we talk about the world of AI or ChatGPT that only humans can do. Steph Curry is not worried that Chat AI is going to take over his job, right? Nobody wants to see robot football players or robot NBA players. So, medical doctors will never go out of style. So there are certain things that humans can do. Let them do it. However, let the machines do or let AI do what AI can do or let ChatGPT what ChatGPT can do. Just like in the instance where I lost work of writing curriculums and reviewing courses for extra money. Well, let the machines do that, right? Because that business can save time and money having ChatGPT do that as opposed to hiring me and other professors, right? So that is a word to warning that if you have a job that can be replaced by AI, then maybe you want to start to think about that seriously and start to learn how you can pivot. But I also understand that machines have to be told what to do. Again, think about the Terminator. It's like, oh, Skynet took over the world and blew everything up. Yeah, that's not going to happen because machines, even though machines can do amazing things, ChatGPT can do amazing things, they have to be told what to do. And that's where you come in. That's where the power of you knowing how to use AI and ChatGPT, how to harness that, that's the power that you have because they have to be told what to do. Understand AI will be pervasive in our society. It is happening now and will continue to happen at a rapid clip. This is fact. So But the question is, how will you harness the power? Again, um, other people are going to use it and soar because it can do so much quicker, right? But the question is, what will you do with that information? What are you going to do with the information you learned today? Are you going to use it to change your business? Or are you just going to like sit back and wait? Button. Can everybody go on the chat button and just, if you can hear me, just type yes or say hello. Type yes and let me know where you are logging in from. I'll type in yes. I think I can hear myself. Everybody take a moment and check. Good afternoon. Richmond, Virginia in the house. Richmond, Virginia is so beautiful. I used to have an uncle that lived there. Still got people coming in. Give them a second to come in. Lynchburg, Virginia. Oh my goodness. I had another family member that used to live in Lynchburg. They went to Liberty University there. DC. All right, now. Looks like the DMV is here. All right. Well, welcome, everybody. I want to respect everybody's time. I know I was a couple minutes late and I apologize. Zoom was updating on my end. But I want to respect everyone's time and also say thank you for taking the time to join me because I know that this is a special time of year. This is time when, you know, you're spending with your family, time with your families or friends, or just hanging out on the couch watching Netflix, laying low, and I respect that. So taking a little bit of time to join this webinar, I want to say thank you because you could be like hanging out with your friends or family. And I want to respect your time and I want to give you a great webinar. So let's get started. So my name is Dr. Marcella Wilson. That's me on a good hair day. Hi, Leonora. Leonora is from New Jersey. Welcome. So my name is Dr. Marcella Wilson. Usually my hair is curly, as you'll see in another picture, but that's me when like my cousins were like, we're gonna flat iron your hair today. So my cousins did my hair that day. Today, we're going to learn how to create a month's worth of social media posts in less than, that should say 5 minutes. I think my kids may have got a hold of my computer, which they do a lot. So that should say 5 minutes. Less than, I'm not perfect here. Less than 5 minutes. There you go. That's what I advertise. All right. Without having to hire a social media manager or be stuck in front of the computer all day. So let me just take a quick survey. If you can type in the chat, let me know, like, are you a solopreneur? Is it just you? Are you running an agency where you help other people? You know, you do social media for other people, or you're a social media manager for a business. Just if you want to, just take a minute and type that in the chat so I kind of know what I'm dealing with. If you're on your own, this is your business, you do everything. I'm a realtor and I want to learn from myself. Woo! Realtors are road warriors. And I know social media is really, really big in that business. And I actually have worked with someone who's a realtor and has done very well. Okay, so let's get going. So let's get to the topic at hand. I'm gonna give you what you came for. Is this a picture of you when you are creating your social media content? Are you looking like that because you don't know how to do it? It's taking all of your time and energy. Is this you? It probably is. Because in all honesty, if you're trying to learn about social media and how to post for your business or for other people and you may not know, you may be looking like this because I don't know what to do or how to do it. Or if you're already doing it, you may be looking like this because it just takes so much of your time. Social media can be a grind. It is a grind. That is just facts. It's a grind, and I understand that because I was in your shoes as well. I had a blog, I was blogging and doing social media for myself and other people for my business, and I was the same way before AI became available to the public. That was me too, because it's a grind, because you have to do it every day. You have to be consistent. You have to come up with content on the regular, and it's hard, right? So you may have heard of AI or ChatGPT, but you're like, wait, I don't know how to do that. That sounds hard. That sounds techy. That sounds complicated. That sounds like all futuristic and stuff, right? So you may be like, I hear it's amazing, I think, but I have no idea how to start or how to go about that. And I get it. I get it. So lately, there's been a lot in the news, in the media, about AI, even in my world, right? And I'll get into more about me. I teach at university, but um, you may have heard a lot about AI and you may have heard some scary stuff, right? So the government may want you to think that, now that AI is here, it's going to take everybody's jobs, you know, all this stuff. You kind of hear fear, and I think me personally, not even on a talking about this, but just in general, I just feel like the news is like tries to incite fear. But anyway, you may have heard a lot about this, and I just want you to not believe the hype about AI. A robot probably is not going to take your job. You may have heard from companies or services that may want you to think that AI is hard. Like, oh, I got to learn how to program. Look, this guy's got like 3 computer screens, all this code on it. He's worn out. You may think, whoa, if I want to learn AI or ChatGPT for my business, this is going to be me. And that couldn't be further from the truth. That cannot be further from it. It is not. ChatGPT is not hard, right? I want you to look at the slide. This could be what a typical day creating a month's worth of social media content looks like for you, right? On the left, you should see 15 minutes using ChatGPT, and on the right, many hours chilling, however many hours you want. As you can see, this person is watching Black Mirror on Netflix. That's one of my favorite shows on Netflix. Who here has seen Black Mirror? If you've seen Black Mirror, type yes in the chat. If you have not seen Black Mirror, then you need to watch it over the break, over these next couple weeks. All right, CB, you got to watch a couple of episodes, right? It's like 3 or 4 seasons, but just watch a couple of episodes. It's a great show. But anyway, I digress. You'll hear me talk about Netflix a lot because I like to hang out with my husband watching Netflix. But this is what a day could look like creating a month's worth of social media content using ChatGPT or some other type of AI platform. I like ChatGPT. If you know what you're doing, you can just take 15 minutes and then do whatever you need to do after that. You can take the time to do it. Because we know creating a month's worth of social media content right now without AI, oh, that could take a long time. That could take like a week, weeks, you know? So ChatGPT can dramatically cut down the time it takes for you to create content. And if you create content with other people, like you have an agency, this is going to be great because you can actually take on more people, more clients, and it not be a burden and you not have to take on more time to take on those clients. All right. So this is possible. And my goal today is to give you value, right? Sure, I teach. I have students that I teach how to use AI and ChatGPT. And I'll tell you a little bit how you can work with me towards the end of this presentation. But if you don't choose to work with me, you're still going to get value out of this presentation. And that's my goal, is to, one, expose people to ChatGPT and the amazing things it can do for your business. And then I also want to give you some actionable tips things that you can do as soon as you get out of this webinar on how to create social media content quickly. So what I show you today, you can go out and do that yourself. you can take that and run with it. Okay. So my goal is to expose you, give you knowledge, give you value, give you some actionable tips of things that you can do today, things that you can use today for your business. All right. So I want you to learn how to save tons of time and money using ChatGPT. That is my hope for you at the end of this webinar. But I do want to have a caveat. What I show you, you can go out there and do. But in order to really, really effectively use ChatGPT over time, you have to learn how to use it correctly, right? And then you have to, it is ideal if you can learn how to automate it so you can take yourself completely out of the process, right? So there's a quote, and I think I have it later in one of these slides, that ChatGPT now has over 100 million users, which is insane. It's now like $1 billion company, but the majority of people are not using it correctly. But that's not going to be you, right? Because I'm going to help you use it correctly. All right. So before we get into what I'm going to show you with ChatGPT, let me just tell you a little bit about myself. I don't want to spend a lot of time on myself. I may have like said some stuff about me in my emails, but I do want to legitimize myself. That's the word. I do want to, because I know sometimes you come to these webinars and people are like, well, why should I listen to you? you know, and I get that. And so I just want to show you why I am, what is the word? Why I kind of have a lot of background in history with computer science and AI. It's just to show you that I am knowledgeable about teaching about this topic. So my first important job, the first two things about me that are most important to me is I'm a wife and I'm a mom. And those are my girls right there. So the two little ones are twins. So I am a twin mom and we are a Disney family. So if I'm always looking tired, that's because, I got twins. So those are my girls. And so we just have all girls, just those three. And I teach at university, and I always say, you can Google me. You should be able to find me. If you Google Dr. Marcella Wilson, you will see what university I teach at. I actually think there's two Dr. Marcella Wilson, and another one teaches in San Diego. So the one in San Diego is not me. So I teach at university and I run a consulting firm. So in my consulting firm, what I do is I help small businesses learn how to use social media to make money. So because that was what my dissertation research was on. So here are my educational backgrounds. That's me the day I graduated from getting my doctorate. I have a bachelor's in journalism and a master's and PhD in science. And my research was in social media. And I've done a lot of research on social media and also taught many classes on AI and machine learning, which is kind of related to AI as well. So that's me. Again, you can Google me. Let me see if I can Google myself. Last time someone else Googled me and pulled me up. But, well, you guys can Google me and see what university I teach at. Okay, so that's my background to show that I'm qualified to talk about this AI stuff. Again, I used to have a blog. I was the same way. Took forever just to create anything, images and blog posts. It took up so much of my time, and I had, so ultimately I quit blogging. And this is why. If you could see, those two little people when they showed up at once, yeah, that's when I quit blogging because it just took up so much time, and time which I didn't have, right? I had just finished my doctorate. I was interested in the world of business and how you can use social media to enhance your business or use blogging to enhance your business. But I wanted to do that on my own, but I just couldn't do it because I had twins and then I had a toddler. So eventually, when they got a little bit older, I went back to work time teaching, and I began to teach classes about, AI and social media, in addition to programming and algorithms and things like that. But AI was always like in research phases, like we've always heard about it. But then one day it was just like, oh, it's here, like, it's available to use. So AI is something that has been on the scene for a good 20 years. It's just now it's becoming available for public use in things like ChatGPT, or Google has an AI application called Bard and things like that. So yeah, I had my own blog, but quit because I just couldn't keep up with the demands of it. Went back to work, went, teaching when my kids got a little bit older, and just heard about it, taught it, but it was never available for public use until now. All right, so let's talk a little bit about what artificial intelligence is. So this is another opportunity for a prize right here. University of Maryland, Baltimore County, that's where I teach, UMBC. So what movie is this scene from? Does anybody know? Type in the chat if you know. What scene? Leonora says no. This is from a very famous movie.
Terminator.
Yes, who said that?
TV.
This is from, and that's correct. This is from the Terminator, which is a great movie. And if you've seen the Terminator, it's like AI takes over. AI is it's called like Skynet, and it takes over the world, and it's like a doomsday scenario, right? So when people think about artificial intelligence, that's kind of what they think about, like Terminator. But it is, I don't want you to think of it that way, but that's kind of how it's portrayed in movies. So all artificial intelligence is, and I'm going to put on my professor hat right now, it's basically programmers who allow machines, which are robots and computers, to think and learn like we do, right? They program that computer or that robot to simulate thinking or learning, right? That's it, right? So computer science are making machines smart enough to solve new problems and learn new things. So again, I said I teach programming. In my introductory programming classes, the first thing I tell them when they write a computer program is all a computer program is you're solving a problem. That's it. So AI is programming machines to solve problems and learn things. So when I say learn things, I don't want you to get scared like, oh my gosh, Skynet is real, the Terminator is going to happen. Robots cannot learn, that they can't become sentient or self-aware. They can't like one day create a conscience and go on their own. They're basically making predictions, right? Based on the information they have. And they've gotten really, really good. So I don't want you to think that computers can start to think or learn as humans do. They're basically just making predictions. That's why it's called artificial intelligence. It's not real intelligence. It's artificial based on what they know of what happened in the past. All right. So ChatGPT. What is ChatGPT? It's an advanced AI language model developed by a company called OpenAI. It's designed to understand and generate human-like text based on the input it receives, right? So basically think of it's just an assistant that you have that you can ask things, write things. Basically, like I said, ChatGPT is by OpenAI, but lots of other people have AI platforms, like Google has Bard that you can use. You can look them up and do the same things you can do on ChatGPT on these other platforms. I just like ChatGPT. But they created this free platform where you can type in request and ask it questions and it'll answer you back. That's all it is in very, very simple terms. Okay, so what is the future of AI? So I kind of have this image on the screen that shows different fields: healthcare, education, banking, finance, manufacturing, entertainment. So I just want you to understand that AI is going to permeate everything. It's going to permeate life as we know it. Right? If you Google something now, I saw on Google it said, AI powered searches, right? If you shop on Amazon, if you put something in the cart, it's going to show you things based on what you've bought in the past and what other people who have bought that same product have bought. AI powered product suggestions, right? We're going to begin to learn differently. Banking is going to be different. Entertainment is different, right? They just had ended that writer's strike, right? And one of the big things they were fighting out over was, they didn't want AI, they didn't want the writers to be out of jobs because, AI or ChatGPT can write the scripts. And they were also fighting over AI generated actor images, right? So AI is here to stay, and it is going to change how we do things. That is fact. It's here and it's not going anywhere. So AI and ChatGPT are already changing things dramatically, right? So I'll just tell you, take a couple minutes and tell you how in my life, how it's changed things dramatically. So again, I teach at university. So as a, since I teach, you can get a lot of side jobs, right? You can teach during the summer. One thing that a lot of professors get offered is to write curriculums or test or review courses for other universities like nonprofits or online universities. So I used to do that all the time and I would make several $1,000s a month. And I just remember telling my husband, like, ooh, I wonder when they're going to realize that AI can do this. Because when I would get those jobs, I would use AI to do all this. So I remember right before Thanksgiving, I was working for this one school and then I heard nothing from them. And I emailed like, hey, happy Thanksgiving. You guys need anything else from me? And they're like, nope, we're going to use AI from now on. I was like, yep, totally understand. So where this university used to spend probably hundreds of thousands of dollars hiring independent contractors like me to review courses, write tests, write curriculums, spending hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. Now they probably just need one person to do all of that on AI. So in my life, I just lost a little side hustle, right? Also, when I was blogging, I would spend like all this time getting images for my blog posts for social media and things like that. You have to pay for your images, right? A lot of these businesses have gone or are going out of business. Can Stock Photo was one I used a lot. They went out of business in October and they said, hey, we cannot compete with AI. You can make free images through Midjourney or DALL-E, and no one is paying for images anymore. So images services are going out of business. So within the next 2 years, so I went to a symposium about AI a couple of months ago, and they said that within the next few years, every business or company will have an AI officer whose job it is to find out how AI can streamline operations, save money, etc. Right? So AI is here. Businesses, companies, or whatever are going to take advantage of it. If you don't take advantage of it, I don't know why you wouldn't, but these other big businesses are. And the reason that they're going to take advantage of it because it saves them money and it saves them time, right? It's here to stay. And those who use it will prosper and those who don't will get left in the dust. It's just facts, right? But again, I don't want you to be fearful, right? Because one thing we talk about when we teach about artificial intelligence and machine learning and things like that, one of the three things we teach about it is that let the humans do what only the humans do. There are certain things we talk about the world of AI or ChatGPT that only humans can do, right? Steph Curry is not worried that Chat AI is going to take over his job, right? Nobody wants to see robot football players or robot NBA players. So, doctors, medical doctors will never go out of style. So there are certain things that humans can do. Let them do it. However, let the machines do or let AI do what AI can do, or let Chat GPT what Chat GPT can do. Just like in the instance where I lost work of writing curriculums and reviewing courses for extra money. Well, let the machines do that, right? Because that business can save time and money having Chat GPT do that as opposed to hiring me and other professors, right? So that is a word to warning that if you have a job that can be replaced by AI, then maybe you want to start to think about that seriously and start to learn how you can pivot. But I also understand that machines have to be told what to do. Again, think about the Terminators, like, oh, Skynet took over the world and blew everything up. Yeah, that's not going to happen because machines, even though machines can do amazing things, ChatGPT can do amazing things, they have to be told what to do. And that's where you come in. That's where the power of you knowing how to use AI and ChatGPT, how to harness that, that's the power that you have because they have to be told what to do. Now, in AI and ChatGPT will do what you say. I'm trying to teach my kids to do what I say. They don't listen to me, but ChatGPT will. All right. Understand AI will be pervasive in our society. It is happening now and will continue to happen at a rapid clip. This is fact. So, but the question is, how will you harness the power? Again, other people are going to use it and soar because it can do so much quicker, right? But the question is, what will you do with that information? What are you going to do with the information you learned today? Are you going to use it to change your business? Or are you just going to sit back and wait? But understand that AI is going to be everything. It's going to be used in everything. So, like this picture shows, you can work with AI to make your business so much easier and do the heavy lifting. So again, as I said earlier, ChatGPT has almost 100 million users, but almost no one is using it correctly. All right. So let's learn how to use it correctly. So again, I'm going to put my professor hat. We're going to learn how to use this. I'm going to give you what you came for. I'm going to show you how to create a month's worth of ChatGPT content in 5 minutes. All right. We already learned what artificial intelligence is. We learned what ChatGPT is. It's a platform that uses AI. There's others like Bard, which Google runs. Bing has one too. But you have to prompt a ChatGPT. Well, what is a prompt? So when you think of a prompt, it's like starting a conversation with a really smart friend. So you're just asking a question. So you can be asking it a question or telling it to do something, right? You can ask for advice, get ideas for a project, have them write something, have it review something. It could even correct itself, just talk to it. So we have to understand what a prompt is before we dive into ChatGPT. So the golden rule about prompts is that you have to be specific. Again, when I talked about the three things we teach about AI is let the humans do what the humans can do. Let the machines do what the machines can do. But machines have to be told what to do. So you have to tell ChatGPT what to do. So you must be explicit. You must be specific. You must be clear, right? So you saw earlier I have little kids. So I have to practice that in my day-to-day a lot, right? I have students. I have to practice that. It's something I always have to work on because, no one is a mind reader. So look at this example. Just think about at a restaurant. Instead of saying, I'll have the pasta, you can say something like, well, I love the spaghetti carbonara with no bacon, please. So specificity goes a long way in ChatGPT. You'll be prompting it less the more specific you are. Okay, so here's just a basic prompt formula, and then I'm going to show you some examples in ChatGPT. I do have some more advanced prompt formulas in a training that I have. It's called Promptology 101. It's a $7 training. I'm just throwing it out there. If you're really serious about this, again, it's a $7 training. But here's just, and it tells you how to write prompts and all type of situations, and it gives you like a cheat sheet. Here is just a basic prompt formula that you can use. Remember, I want to give you value. I want you to leave here with something that you can use. So we've got context, some specific information, intent, and your response format. That's going to be your basic prompt. So here's an example. In ChatGPT, you can type something like this. I'm new to cooking. That's the context. Can you give me a simple step-by-step recipe for butter chicken, right? You're telling it how I want the response. I want it step-by-step. Tell them specific information. I need a simple recipe for butter chicken. So I put butter chicken because I love butter chicken. My family went to Dubai in November, my birthday month. So me and my husband took our girls to Dubai. I ate butter chicken every night. It was amazing. So you can give ChatGPT this information and it'll give you a simple step-by-step recipe for butter chicken. But let's get into, let me share ChatGPT. Let me pull that up. Okay. So one thing I want to call to your attention is ChatGPT has kind of two modes, right? We have GPT 3.5, which says it's great for everyday tasks. And then we have GPT 4 with DALL-E, browsing, and analytics. So DALL-E is ChatGPT's processor that will create images for you. And then browsing means that it can browse the internet. It can say, oh, I want you to summarize this YouTube video. It can do that. So ChatGPT 3 can't do that, but ChatGPT 4. So you just, click on ChatGPT 4 and it will do that for you. Now, ChatGPT is free. There is a paid option for $20, which will allow you to create, like right here, it said limit 40 messages in 3 hours, right? If you wanted to use it in unlimited, it's $20 a month, which is a steal if you have a business. So if you're just, if you didn't have a business, I wouldn't recommend paying. But $20 is pennies compared to what this thing can do. Also, ChatGPT has plugins. I can't get into them today, but again, it can do things like, oh, well, if you have a plugin for creating a chart, it'll create charts for you, or it can create PDFs for you. So you can use specific plugins to do specific tasks. So I guess that's the basic way to say it. So here we go. We have message. It says message ChatGPT on the bottom. That's where you write your prompt. So let's write the prompt. I am a budding chef. Can you please write me a simple step-by-step recipe in a fun format? I can't remember what it said. And now here it goes. Oh, I didn't put butter chicken. So see, I didn't put butter chicken, so it came up with something on its own. Look at it, serves two hungry souls. So it's creating a recipe for me. And it's giving step-by-step directions, and it's doing it in a fun, it's saying it in a fun, witty way, which is what I asked it to do. And so so this is a lesson here, right? Since I didn't say butter chicken, it just gave me a dish on its own. So again, we have to be specific with ChatGPT so that it can give us what it wants. Also, I want you to see right here at the bottom this important line. It says ChatGPT can make mistakes. Consider checking important information. So I want you just to remember that ChatGPT is amazing, but again, let the humans do what the humans can do. You have to review it just to make sure it's okay. And this will come into play if you don't automate ChatGPT and you keep writing prompts. Sometimes it'll forget what the early prompts were. So, maybe if you're writing 4 or 5 prompts in succession to get it to give you exactly what you want, it'll forget what that first said. So the information won't be correct. Okay, so let's create a month's worth of some social media content. So can you guys type in what your businesses are? And I'm going to pick one to write a month's worth of social media content. Oh, somebody said my daughters are gorgeous. Thank you. I think they are, but I'm a little biased. But no, they are cute. So if you guys can type in the chat what your business is, so that I'm gonna pick one. Consulting. What kind of consulting do you do? I need to be specific for ChatGPT. Plus size boutique. Ooh. Tech. Okay, you do tech consulting. We got a plus size boutique. I like that one. And I think we have a realtor in the house. So you're in New Jersey. Catering. Okay, let me think. I like the plus size boutique. So let's see. I'm going to use a plus size boutique. I'm just going to riff off this. I have several plus size clothing stores since most people were in the DMV in the Maryland area. I need a month's worth of social media ideas, trim money. Can you please give me an idea of what I can post daily on my Instagram account? Please include, I'm gonna say please, and I'm just going off the top of my head. Please include New Year's sales, Martin Luther King Jr. holidays, and pre-Valentine's Day sale. Also, please include content to create user engagement, and get them to come in the store and buy. All right, let's see what it gives us. So I was trying to be specific as possible. Oh, you also have to, also a good thing to do is tell the tone. Please use a friendly, witty tone and emojis. Just because I love emojis. All right, so let's see what it's gonna do. All right, gives me a note, says I'm gonna do it. And look at it. It's giving me something for each day. New Year's Day sale, 20% off all items, Motivational Monday, Trendy Tuesday, self-love is always in fashion. So stay warm and fabulous, budget friendly, create your dream outfit. So I will say this. Okay, I'm gonna let it finish. But look at how quickly it's just giving you all of the information. Like you don't have to think about this at all. You can do this. So notice it stopped at January 21st. You want to hit continue generating so it can finish it for you. And it has midweek giveaway, tag 3 friends, pre-Valentine's Day sale, style challenge, and then it sums it up. But I will say this, ChatGPT may not know what a plus size boutique is because I don't see anything about like body positivity, larger sizes. And I'll say, I'm going to write it. I'm going to write another prompt. I'll say, this is great, but a plus size clothing store has clothes for women that are size, I'm just going to say 14 and larger. I'm not sure what it is. I'm just guessing. Can you redo this and talk more about body positivity? Did I spell that right? Body positivity and loving your body, yourself, and fashionable. I'm just going off the top of my head. Clothes in larger sizes, and how this store has the best fashionable sizes, clothes in larger sizes. Okay, because I didn't feel like it had a lot about plus sizes. So let's see what it's going to do. All right. So January 1st, they talk about embrace your curves this year. Curvy confidence. See our trendy Tuesday. Swipe to see our latest collections designed specifically for sizes 14 and up. Throwback Thursday. Celebrate your shape with our stunning range of fashion. Celebrate fashion at any size. So this is a little bit better. So again, this is an example of the more specific you are with ChatGPT, the better the better results you'll get. Predict the next best thing in plus size fashion. All right, so again, it stopped at the 21st. You want to click the continue generating button. If it stops on you, then it'll pick up again. And there is your whole month's worth of ideas, social media content, and you can decide if you want to use them or not. But here it is in like 5 minutes. And you can even, oh, look, they've given you a coupon code, and you can even do something like this. This is great. I have an Instagram, Facebook, and not social media, and LinkedIn accounts for my plus size clothing store. Can you write post for I'm gonna say January 29th for Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. So now it's going to write post tailored to that specific platform. And look at it, it's even giving you hashtags and what kind of images it thinks you should have. There's your Facebook post, and there's your LinkedIn post. So they're all different to resonate with the type of audience that platform has, right? Instagram is more visual based. So you should have a carousel of images. Facebook is more, friends and family. So it's talking differently, and you should only have one picture. And LinkedIn is more business, right? So it can do so much. And you can even type this, right? Can you critique the post you just wrote, right? So you can ask ChatGPT, like, was that your best? Yes, you just wrote these posts, but can you do better? So it will critique itself, give itself the strengths and weaknesses of what it just did, right? So it's giving itself strengths and weak areas of improvements, right? And then you can say to ChatGPT, so okay, rewrite the post using your areas for improvement. There you go. So it's going to revise those Instagram posts using the things that it said it can do better. Okay, so I think that was about 5 minutes. I don't know. I wasn't looking at I should have been looking at the clock. I know it wasn't more than 10, but I just wanted to show you just a little bit of what it can do. Now you can say this. Okay, now can you write a blog post for January 29, 20, oops, it should be 2024, but whatever. So now I can write a blog post. So it knows that it's about the pre-Valentine's Day sale. So now it's gonna write a blog post for you. So all you have to do, type in a prompt, boom. How many of you guys are excited? How many of you guys think that you can do this? Look, it's writing a whole blog post. I remember it used to take me like 2 or 3 days to write a blog post. Now it just wrote it for you. I have a month's worth of content, blog posts, and I could, just right there. And you can do this. Like I said, you can take this information and go and put up by someone said this in the chest. Yeah, it's amazing. So you can take that information. Let me go back to the PowerPoint. Let me go back to my presentation. You can take that information and go crazy, right? Go back to where I was. Now let me give you some other things that ChatGPT can do for you just very quickly. So I will have a replay, but I'm not going to have all of this stuff in the replay just because I like to honor people who come live. I like to give them something special. So just because you guys want to use social media, here are some things that ChatGPT can also do. It can personalize, it can respond to comments in your social media, like in Instagram. It can respond to all of those comments and personalize them. Again, kind of what we saw today, it can help brainstorm a wide range of post ideas. So if you want to do blog posts and you're like, I got to write blog posts twice a week, what should I write about? It'll tell you. It can create hashtags. So you saw that it was creating hashtags. I didn't ask it to do it. It created it on its own. And listen, also, it knows what hashtags are trending or are popular because it can read the internet. It can reduce typos and errors, right? Because it's a machine doing this. It's not a human typing this. So you're going to have less errors. It can adapt your language and tone for different platforms. So I showed you that, right? So I said, hey, I have Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Can you write a post for each of those different platforms? And it will, as we saw, it will change the post for that specific platform. It can onboard new team members, right? So if you have a business, you hire people, or you have other social media managers that this is what they do, you have an agency, you help people with their social media, you can onboard team members. ChatGPT can do that for you. You can create multilingual content, right? You can say, hey, thanks for these ideas for the month of January. Now, can you create it in Spanish? Because I have a lot of Spanish speakers coming in my store, and it'll do it. You can quickly diversify the content without any effort at all, just writing in a prompt. You can research trends, issues, and news. You can say to yourself, hey, if I want to think about real estate, hey, what are some of the hot trends in real estate, or what do people want in their houses, or what is the hot fashion styles going into spring? It can research that for you and let you know. And it can craft responses to PR issues. So I will say, I don't know if doesn't sound like anyone here is working for someone. I call them bold name types. But I do have a friend that, just because, this is our field, social media and research and stuff. I do have a friend who I went to, not my doctor, but my master's, that we went to school together. She got a job running the social media platforms for social media accounts for several celebrities. And it was really cool, right? Because, of course, they have millions and millions of followers. But one of the people that she, worked for had kind of had a PR issue. So she was able to use ChatGPT to craft responses and respond to comments quickly and all sorts of things like that. Because so I don't know if anyone here is in that boat, but there are people who run accounts for, politicians, celebrities, influencers who have millions and millions of followers. And sometimes you need to respond to prickly situations, whether it be a, gossip that's going around or what have you. So anyway, these are some things that ChatGPT can do for you and more, right? But these are some advanced things. These are some advanced things, and these are things that they don't require more than just prompts, but you want to know how to do it. You want to learn how to automate ChatGPT to do that. So it's better if you can. So you can type in prompts all day in ChatGPT, right? And you saw me doing that. You saw me writing in prompts one after the other to try to get try to get it to give me exactly what I wanted, right? When I first was writing about plus size boutiques, it really didn't give me what I want, but I had to tell it, hey, plus size boutiques are for women size 14 and larger. Can you write more about body positivity? And so again, what I showed you today, you can do that, but it is going to be tedious, right? Because as you saw, you're going to have to write prompts over and over and over to get it right. And ChatGPT can make errors if you write a series of prompts. Remember, I showed you that little line at the bottom that said ChatGPT can make mistakes. And that's what it means. Because if you write a series of prompts, sometimes it may forget what you wrote in that first prompt, because it's looking at the last prompt you wrote, right? Not the first prompt you wrote. So if you're writing a series of prompts, trying to get it to give you the correct information, it may forget that what you put in that first prompt, so that last prompt isn't correct. So it can make errors in that respect, right? Not that the information it's giving you is correct, is that if you write a series of prompts, it doesn't always remember what you wrote in those first ones. And it's going to take a lot of time. Sure, what I showed you took 5-10 minutes. I understand that, when I give webinars, when I teach, there are people who are just come to the webinar and learn, and then that, they're good, and that's fine. But then there are some people who really want to make change, and they want to change their business now, right? So if you want to do that, if you want to soar with ChatGPT, I say use automation, right? Also, look, I understand that I'm not the only person out here talking about ChatGPT, right? And I'll go to other webinars to listen to what other people say. But you guys saw my credentials, right? A lot of people out there are just telling what they know about ChatGPT, right? No one out there has PhDs, masters and PhDs in computer science like I do, and have studied and researched these areas. They just don't. I know they don't, right? And a lot of these people are just telling you how to use their software. So I went to one webinar, was like, oh, teaching how to write a book using ChatGPT. And all he was saying was use my software, my AI software. Well, I mean, if you use somebody else's software, you're not going to know how to write the prompts to get exactly what you need. You won't know how to automate the process of creating content. You got to pay for that software, right? And then you're dependent on that software, right? You don't really know how to use ChatGPT. You don't know how to develop a marketable skill. So remember, I said it earlier in the presentation. I said there are over 100 million people that use ChatGPT, but most of them are using it incorrectly. You're not going to be one of those people because you're here. You're smarter than that, right? So sure, other people are out there talking about ChatGPT, or have this software that says, hey, use this software. This will create social media content for you. This is, but knowledge is power. What I do, what I do day in and day out at UMBC is teach people how to is teach people how to use. I'm getting my thoughts all twisted. But what I do is teach people so they know for themselves, not to be dependent on some software, right? I want you to how to use it for yourself. So understand that when I teach you, you don't have to learn how to code. It's not gonna be like that picture where the dude is like exhausted in front of his computer. There's no coding. You're just learning how to write prompts for ChatGPT. Whatever you think it can do, whatever a person can do, ChatGPT can do it for you. I want you to be powerful. The power comes in the knowledge and how to do it. And that's what I'm all about. That's what I want to tell my girls. That's what I'm going to give them. That's what I want you to have as well. I don't want you to, yeah, like I said, other people out there are teaching it, and I'm not knocking their hustle, but I don't want you to be dependent on somebody's software where you got to pay $100 a month or whatever, and you still don't know how to use it. Okay. It removes the grind of social media. So this is the beauty of ChatGPT, which you can do basically for free. All right. So I've showed you a little bit about what ChatGPT can do concerning your social media, but the key is the prompts, right? You have to be able to create these prompts so that ChatGPT can give you the content that you want quickly. And as you saw, when I was just doing demonstrations off the cuffs, I had to write things a couple of times to kind of get ChatGPT to give me what I want. But what if I can help you create the prompts that you need for your social media accounts? Well, I have this training called Promptology 101. Yes, yes, yes. This is going to be your new best friend. Let me tell you about Promptology 101. 101 is where I teach you how to create basic and advanced prompts. So now you can keep doing what I just showed you today, right? But listen, if you keep writing numerous prompts, ChatGPT can make errors, right? So you really, really want to know how to master those prompts, because prompts are key to saving time and being efficient with ChatGPT. So let me tell you about everything you get in my Promptology 101 training course. You get the prompt cheat sheet, right? So you can print out this cheat sheet, put it by your desk, your laptop, computer, wherever it is that you work on social media. And that will be your cheat sheet where you can refer to very quickly to write prompts. Then you're going to have access to the perfect prompt formula training. So this training, it goes in depth on how to write prompts, how to troubleshoot, all kinds of information about what you need to think about before you start writing prompts on ChatGPT. And then you're not just going to get the prompt cheat sheet and the perfect prompt formula, you're going to get 3 amazing bonuses. Did you know that ChatGPT can read and summarize documents? Oh, yes, it can. So it can read a document and then summarize it for you. And you can use that information in social media, on blog posts, whatever. But you have to use plugins to be able to do that. So in that first bonus training, I'll be teaching you how to do that. GPT can summarize documents in seconds. It can also summarize videos in seconds. Now I put YouTube in parentheses. Most people use YouTube, but it just has to be a video, right? ChatGPT can summarize a video and then can actually read and discern what's going on in that video and then give you a summary. So a lot of people use this for their YouTube channels, right? They'll create a YouTube video and then they'll have ChatGPT write the title, the description, all of that information that needs to go into YouTube. They'll have ChatGPT do that because ChatGPT can read and summarize your videos. So You're going to get a training on that, which is amazing. Like I remember just taking forever, hours to write my YouTube description and all that kind of stuff. And it can give you keywords for YouTube and hashtags, SEO keywords for YouTube. It's very powerful. Also, I'm going to have a training where ChatGPT can create interactive social media posts, right? I showed you just a tad bit of what ChatGPT can do for social media posts in the demo that you saw a few minutes ago. But in this training, it's going to show you how to create interactive social media posts, which is everything, right? You want more engagements, you want more interaction with your audience through social media. This training is going to show you how to do it. You get all of that, these 3 amazing bonuses in your Promptology 101 training. So at the end, this is what you're going to get. You're going to get 3 training modules, right? And in those 3 training modules, you're going to get the prompt sheet and you're going to learn about how to create the perfect prompt formula. It's going to take me 3 modules to do it. Then you're going to get the trainings, the 3 bonus trainings, which is how to read and summarize documents, how to read and summarize videos, and how to create interactive social media posts, right? So all of this, if I were to charge for this, what it's worth, it would be almost $2,000. And really what you're getting out of this is a skill. And I talked about this throughout the webinar, as you're going to get a skill that is in demand right now. You're going to learn how to use ChatGPT. Most businesses and companies are turning towards ChatGPT to save them time and money. And you're going to learn how to use it. You're going to gain valuable skills that are in high demand. So I could charge $1,800 easy, but I'm not going to do that. So today you can get Promptology 101 for a mere $7. I know what you're thinking. And my husband was saying that very same thing when I was like working on this training. You're going to charge how much? So I know this price is crazy, but let me just say, I don't know how long I'll be selling this for $7. It is clearly worth more. And I know this, but I'm really trying to get this information out there. I want to help people. I love to teach, and I want you to learn, and I want you to learn from me. I want you to take the course and see that it's great, and I want you to take more courses from me, right? So that's my angle, right? So I don't know how long I'll be selling this for $7. So I would recommend that you get it now while you can. When I offer courses, I always start out low and then they go high. So they will go high over time, or sometimes I just stop selling them. It just depends on what I'm focusing on at the moment. Right now, I'm focusing on this. I may not even be selling Promptology 101 in a couple of months, but right now it's $7 and I'm offering it. So I recommend that you get it now while you can. Here is the link, or you can go to the button, should be somewhere on this page. It'll take you to the sign up form. Again, you'll get 3 training modules, which includes the prompt cheat sheet and the perfect prompt formula. You get a training on how to use ChatGPT to read and summarize documents. You're going to get a training on how to use ChatGPT to read and summarize videos. And you're going to learn how to use ChatGPT to create interactive social media posts, all right now, just for $7. And it's available today. Okay, so there's the link, or you can just, click the button that's going to be somewhere on this page. I hope you take advantage of this incredible offer. This information can change your whole business and even your life, because it can free up so much time. So I do want to say that this is a self-paced course. I don't think I said that. It's self-paced, so you can work at your own pace. It's not a live course. It's completely online. All right? All right, guys. Thanks for paying attention. If you have any questions, you can always feel free to email me at marcella@marcellawilson.com. Thank you for everything. God bless. Take care. And Hope to see you inside the course. All right, bye.